Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Empires of Aether, the next great turn-based strategy board game that allows you to wield the power of an element of your choosing, vying for control over new power, a new land, a new element, Aether. With a last-minute substitution, Bobrick is taking the place of Rhythm. We were really excited to see what Rhythm was made of. He's had a little bit of a hiatus away from the elements, but Bobrick is coming off of a win last night. A juicer of a win. And so Bobrick getting subbed in. Are the players just filled with trepidation? I don't know. He's joined by none other, another repeat from last night, Blue Shadow, trying to climb again in the leaderboard. And he really needs to tonight because Scooby, the first seed, is playing tomorrow night in a star-studded matchup. So Blue Shadow is going to need these win conditions, but he's going to have some stiff competition because he is faced by the very efficient number 3 seed currently, but because he's played the second least amount of matches, that's goofy. The man's only played 3 games, but has won 2 of them. An incredibly efficient player who knows what's good and knows how to take advantage. And the least experienced player at the table, his first competitive matchup of the season, is Pond Jr. Least amount of experience at the table, but the man knows the elements. The man knows how to wield them. The man knows how to grab the elements and exploit them. Let's take a look at the leaderboard right now. We've got young Scooby alone in the standings at the top. Blue Shadow number 2. 5 matches played, 4 win conditions, slightly less efficient than Goofy, sitting in the number 3 seed. And then we've got Bobrick, who has played 5 matches, but has increased his efficiency just a ridiculous amount. And of course, Pond Jr., no stats to be tracked here. I believe his only wins are on Glacier and Earth and Lightning, I believe, on the outside, if I'm not mistaken. So scouting report says he's a versatile player. Can he be shut down? Let's see what we've got shaken up here for us. Taking a look at the board here, the bans are already taking place. Goodness gracious me, oh my, we're loaded in. And it's looking like Earth is getting snatched up, and our suspicions were proven. Air was taken right out of the game, absolutely. And Sand made it through, despite there being a dual desert corner. Now that's a shock, ladies and gentlemen. That is a shock. Whatever happened to Zine Airs? Zine Airs is actually going to be rejoining us next week. In fact, the original table I ever tested this game out with is playing this Saturday. None of them have played in months, and they're getting brought up to speed, ready to take the competitive season with a thunderous fury in the following week. So we're very excited for Zine Airs to join us. Zine Airs, Slate Jeezy, Shan Man, and Chadsy. Chadsy, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. I am surprised that Sand made it through. We got to see what these bands were. We've got Nature Band, Air Band, Water Band, and Lightning Band. And so this is a very telltale sign. You got Air Band, but not Band first, because whoever's going 2020 will have the opportunity to take what is the most powerful element in the game right now. And I do think that is uncontested. Air is the most powerful element in the game, most versatile, very hard to shut down. We saw that last night. Bobrick just used them to the fullest of their potential. We got Blood, Glacier, Earth, and Sand picked. Bobrick is going with Blood. And I think he's in... No way it's a 2020 position. I don't believe it. I simply don't believe it. Okay, he's 13-13 Blood. That makes sense. I would imagine with the 2020 spot that Earth was probably taken because it looks like Sand was taken at 16-16, the second pick here. Give me a get some boys. Need some warm-ups in me. Silver, we can't wait for you to grace this battlefield once again. The game is... I think the game is so fun. It's so healthy right now. It is almost balanced. Air nerfs are happening this week. Don't worry, boys. The Plague of Air will not last for long, even though it's been in the game for a while. It's really surprising that Air just got recognized by so little players, in all honesty. I say that. It was getting banned a lot in these competitive matches, but it's like the same players banning them every time because they know just how spicy Air is, and they don't want other people to realize it. So we got Glacier getting taken by Pond Jr. It is one of the elements that he has achieved a victory on. So this is a comfort pick for him. And I love Glacier in the short side matchup against Blood. Because no matter what, especially if Blood ends up taking Red Shadow and ends up in the middle of the board for the opening turns. That means that Glacier is essentially going to be able to be uncontested, maybe get to this rainforest or this desert, blizzard it off, and then you've got a natural barrier between you and that very, very oppressive threat of the Blood General. But Sand allowed to play in a 2-desert corner. I do think that people are going to realize that this is what you don't want to happen. There's actually a good amount of deserts elsewhere on the board as well, and if Sand is able to eke itself over on the board, he's just going to be a powerhouse that cannot be stopped. Let's get these other elements out of the way here. Man, people just want to see poison on the board. We can't get enough poison. What is this right here? Almost lost a blood card there. Yeah. So we got Earth getting played here with a pretty standard lineup. Oh, I love Earth's pick here, actually. Into Blood. Earth is a great counter against Blood because of this tier 2 card. It's not the most common ability taken, but it absolutely shatters Blood players. Blood is a very strong element now, but castles are the centerpiece of their strategy. And for just 2 BM apiece for your defensive fortifications, you destroy a castle for each of them. So if you've got 5 defensive fortifications, that's essentially 10 BM to knock out 5 of their castles that cost 6 BM apiece and are the centerpiece of their food economy. So it absolutely destroys them with that. Absolutely shatters them. So I am curious to see. Glacier was the 10-10 pick, the 4th pick. I did suspect that. And we are underway. We are in turn 1. The automatic turn counter is operational, boys. We are just coding wizards here. And it is Earth that is at the 2020 start here. Kind of what I expected. But also, if you're gonna play Earth, I did expect them to probably ban Sand in the first position. Goofy loves his Earth. In fact, it is one of his wins in this competitive season. But I love his lineup here. I think Earth's got a really, really good shot at taking this game. Just pre-dereliction on looking at this setup here. I like Blood is taking the Cerberus as their general tonight. What a saucy pick. What a fearsome, oppressive character to look at. And we got Glacier. Let's see their lineup here. Going for the quest. Pretty standard build lineup for Glacier. Glacier's got some new abilities en route here in the next month or so. And so we'll see some more versatility in their lineups, but this is a pretty standard lineup here. With Frigid and this Tier 1 Blizzard, they're going to be able to cut off any opponent that's tackling them on whatever that strong side might be. Now, usually in this particular matchup, we can aggress upon Blood. Oh, yes, and Blood is doing exactly what we thought he would. Red Shadow is taking him to the middle of the board. We should look to see Pawn Jr. aggress on the short side and try to get this desert established as a Blizzard. Bobrick, on his end, should be prioritizing getting to that desert and getting a castle on it ASAP. So let's see how these two players deal with it. But Red Shadow, a force to be reckoned with. No one is going to want to put armies in the opening turns out there because when turn 4 occurs, that Red General, that Blood General, is going to be able to move 2 spaces and exsanguinate. And would you look at what Bobrick's going on here? Bobrick is going to be the first competitive player to take Scarlet Fever. He is in the 13-13 position, but he's skipping his first turn. So his actual turn is turn 2, and he's going to be starting at 23-23. I really like that take. I think it's a great take. But it gives Pawn Jr. It gives Pawn Jr. an opportunity to pounce on this short side, and I really hope we see it. Doesn't look like we're seeing it in the opening turn, though. So I think this is a little bit of a mistake on Pawn Jr.'s part. Let's get in this supervisor position. Let's see what card we drew in the opening turns. Maybe this has an effect on what his plays are. He's got a pretty good combat card here. It's just a 50-50 on whether you roll a 1 or a 6 in combat. So I personally hate this card. But hey, the gamblers out there, and there are many of you in here. Many of you are gamblers. It's a gambler's card. That's where we're at. Glacier getting to take advantage of their first tile purchase as half price. Really wish he could get to that rainforest. But alas, couldn't get there. He's got a lot of good resource in his corner, but he doesn't want to turn those into Blizzard, so he obviously wants to get to this desert. But based on his movement, I don't think he's going to be able to do that. Could he have? I think he definitely should have. It would suck to do it, but if you half-price the swamp, that puts you to 10-9, you put a barracks on it, put soldiers on it, go to the rainforest, you can get a soldier there on turn 1. And then Bobrick is skipping his turn 1. Like, that's what you do against the new Blood. Blood is super powerful, but you aggress on them on the short side, and what do? Especially when their general is sitting at the center. So I think it's a little bit of a mistake on Pon Jr.'s part. And let's see, we got Sand with the 2 desert open. This is what we're going to see. We're going to see 3 deserts accessed in turn 1. He's going to get that 5/5 supplement in turn 1 with the full capability of going tier 2 on turn 3 and getting an Oasis there. So he's going to want to just buy every tile around him. Probably going to look to make this field and this forest into deserts at the tier 2 stage. Maybe even this field. And he went with a more aggressive Mirage as opposed to a Saboteur card in Locus. Mirage is much better in the Blood matchup, because Blood does not typically have armies coming at you, and they don't really have it with Earth either. So Mirage is probably a better take here. I really like that. Good heads-up play. Good decision by Justin. Blue Shadow. Ooh, and Goofy gets just a stellar card open against Blood. Stage Right is going to be absolutely clutch. He should have absolute no fear going into the middle. And because this Blood General is locked down for 4 turns, we can actually just take up the middle of this board here. Earth just got such a rich corner. Such a rich corner. I honestly, I don't know if you take this card in this situation. I think you might take extensive fortifications. You probably want all the food. You got 2 mountains. That's fine. He's probably going to save it for his star tile swamp. That's fine. Absolutely fine. But man, this is such a clutch card. This is going to be a very important card, I believe. I believe we're going to see an Earth aggressive tectonic plates into Blood, probably. Especially when we take bringing the house down, which is a direct counter to your Blood matchup to cripple their economy. I do think we're going to see a fairly aggressive Earth player here. But the problem is if we leave Sand alone, we are all on a timeline to mummies being ever present on the battlefield. But actually, the only player who can inhibit blizzards is a tier 3 Sand player. And they can only do it once, and he didn't even take Buried Alive, actually. So actually, the Glacier players' blizzards are going to be untouched this game. That is massive. And we're already in turn 2. About to blow. The tile between the Western Landmark and Western Boss becomes a volcano. This desert is now a much more valuable tile. Very interesting there. Almost a very subtle nerf to Sand, but you weren't expecting to get over here anyway. And of course, we have the very powerful stables on the board as well. Let's see how early that becomes a factor. It has now been increased to a 10-10 price, so it's going to be much more difficult to attain confidently and make a play off of it in the same turn. Glacier is just biding his time here. Buying the star tile, I think, in turn 2. It's a very expensive desert. And Pon Jr.'s got skin in the game. Love this advantage card. Love this advantage card. But buying the star tile turn 2, looking to probably make it into a blizzard right away. I mean, there's no way you buy this and... Did he buy it or did he buy the rainforest? I'm a little perplexed by that play. As that, of course, was a huge chunk in his resources. Bobrick finally getting to take his turn. Gets Camouflage Soldiers on turn 2, but this is his first turn. And he starts at 23-23. So he's going to plant that barracks on his Blood capital. And he's just going to fan out here. He's going to easily be able to afford 3 tiles and get a free castle here. What we should see is probably ignoring this forest and probably try to get a soldier on this desert. But because Pon Jr. didn't put the pressure on him, maybe he doesn't need to. But definitely wants this short side to be your free castle, without a doubt. We know what Glacier can do if they're able to get a blizzard on you, because of course, Glacier's got the snowshoes. They can move through their snow without counting as their movement. Very solid here. Bobrick opening up very optimally. Buying the forest. And we should probably see resource buildings on all of them. Yep. Looking good here. Or at least the mountain and the lake. Let's put a barracks on the forest, probably. No need to purchase it now, of course. And in fact, with this BM, I would put a second castle on the forest. Just show off that economic strength of Blood. Let's see what he's got here. And he, in fact, is going to do that, but on the mountain instead. Going to protect the tiles that are more important to him. So Blood, by skipping the first turn and getting that boosted economy, is going to be able to buy all 3 tiles and purchase 2 castles. Just massive output to his food economy, and building material is looking pretty. And we got Dwarf Exterminator, who has already achieved and acquired 3 deserts. Rolls the possible aid, gets the friendly roll, so he gets 2 free soldiers on his capital. Very good here. And that's going to be a free movement to the field while also getting to expand to the middle. This is really good. Really, really good. I kind of would have liked to see if... I would have liked to see Sand take Rattlesnakes here. Rattlesnakes would be very interesting because we're going to probably turn this tile into a desert. And when Red Shadow gets to move, Rattlesnakes would make his general go back to the capital. Very interesting. I thought Blood would easily take their monument in this game. I think it'd be really solid. But no, they just opted to go with the more standard, more reserved Blood Rush Exsanguinate build. Gonna be very soldier intensive here. And he's gonna go ahead and pop, but not like you. You're everything soft, getting to draw 3 advantage cards, keeping 2 of them. Gonna definitely... Oh, wait, never mind. This is an interesting card to take here. Dragon's Retribution. I actually like this card for the simple fact that it can deny stables to someone. I think that's a really solid play. Sustained Damages is a very good card as well. I think we're definitely going to toss away Forced Transaction here. Look at Sand's economy. This is a double desert open in a sand corner. It's filthy. We're at 21-22, and it's turn 2. Like, what do you do with all those resources? You can't do enough. He is tossing away Forced Transaction, doing exactly what we thought he would. Earth's going to have to prioritize this short side over here. Got to focus on it. City got a great amount of resources, though. 15, 16. Easily going to be able to do that and fortify it. Super simple. And then, like I said, the general's going to continue to move up this long side. We are definitely going to be gunning for Blood here. But we just want to be able to contend with Sand if they get any funny ideas. Let's see what Sand is doing here with a lot of resources. Could even actually aggress into the lake. Interesting choice here for Blue Shadow. Not that much food to play with, actually. If he buys a lake, he goes to 8 food. He would only be able to put up his 2 defensive fortifications on it, not really put a big soldier presence on it. But that's not a bad move. Earth's just got some funky things they can do to you. But man, these are rough cards. These are good cards. This could be absolutely massive. I mean, this is just the ability that you just played, but you know, even better. Your opponent's not expecting it. Just an awesome card here. Let's see what Earth gets. Oh, nice. A nice little bait and switch card here. I really like this. I like putting this on the short side as well. Loading up soldiers on this tile. We just move this soldier into the lake, and we could actually bait Sand in. It'd be nice if we could call all these soldiers in order to get an army together. Don't think we really have the opportunity of that. Goofy actually ceding control of the short side here. I don't like this play whatsoever. Think he's probably going to move a soldier down here. Yep. Okay. Good play here. Great play here, actually. Could be interesting to see if Blue Shadow actually haboobs this to get full-on advantage here. And he could even take soldiers and attack the lake next turn. He's going to be at 25 food, which means he could purchase a full army after going tier 2 and popping his abilities. It would just be an inoptimal. He wants this to be a desert right here so he can use it for a snake into the middle of the board later. But I don't mind that play at all, actually. If we turn both of these into deserts, we get a free oasis on this field. And then this is a desert that we could haboobs here. That would put Goofy in a really poor position. I would definitely... And maybe that's why he held off on actually fortifying it. Because haboobs, he could just wipe away his defensive fortifications. I don't When you see two deserts in a corner, sand must be banned, boys. I think we're about to learn that lesson here today. I love Goofy's setup in the matchup against Blood, but the question is, can he actually push off Blue Shadow? I don't see Blue Shadow not aggressing upon him in the next turn. But then Tyler can do some funky things with some blizzards over here. I mean, there's so many variables to this game. It's so hard to predict what's about to happen. I think Goofy's going this way. I think Blue Shadow's going this way. Doing a little bit of thinking here. A little bit of thinking here. The Blood General is still stuck for 2 more turns. Doesn't get to move next turn, but does get to move the following turn. What's he scared of at the forest right now? I don't think we should be scared. The other thing we really want to do as the Earth players, we want to get this extra mountain down ASAP to add that to that defensive dice roll so that we can thwart attacks. Resource building on the mountain, I like that. I like it. So we're going a pretty economic finish here. No soldier on this lake is dicey. It's very dicey. That's going to give the advantage to Blue Shadow here on the short side. CD control of it, but Goofy sees the potential here. I know he sees potential for something against Blood over here. And the weather is, each player may tier up once this turn for half price on turn 3. This is the first time this weather event has happened. Everyone gets a 5/5 tier 2 upgrade. This could be absolutely massive. What can Glacier do with this? Glacier just gets a juicer of an advantage card as well. Got Mink over here. I see no potential to tier up and Polar Bears into Mink, but man, that'd be such a good turn because then we could steal from Sand the following turns, and that would really slow down their production. Wait, can I choose to go to tier 2 for full price and tier 3 for half price? That is correct. That is exactly what you're able to do. That is as the weather currently reads, but perhaps you're about to discover something that is broken. So Sand is potentially going to tier 3 on turn 3. What an insane event that would be if he does it. I don't think that's a very good turn. But we shall see. I mean, you have to take advantage of this. If you're not tearing up this turn, you're just straight up wrong. So Glacier had to have done that, but wasn't able to buy any tiles as a result. Economy is still a little poor here. No Glaciers yet. Blood does go tier 2, immediately swaps out that forest for an ultra tile. Bobrick is good and positioned. He's ready to sacrifice all these soldiers around here as well to give his general a little upgrade when he pounces on turn 4. So we got Bobrick contending at the star tile position. I think this is... I see potential for big plays here. I see some openings. It's a little dicey. But I see potential for some openings. And it might be the play. With Earth getting to go tier 2 at half price this turn, there's some big plays here. He'd be at 14-5. 14-5. An inoptimal popping of eating rocks would result in an army. And he could get very much established, one away from the Blood Capital this turn. Very interesting here. Blue Shadow is going to draw the Soup Lines card. Everyone's getting some food here. Just how much is it? Sand does not need any more help in the resources department. So everyone is really, really fretting that. Blood looks like he rolled a 1. A whopping 1 here. Looks like Earth rolled a 1 as well, or a 3. Not sure which one actually counted for him. He rolled a 3, because he was at 19 before. Sand is going to tier 3. Pays 10-10 to go to tier 2, and pays an additional 10-10, courtesy of the weather event, to go tier 3. The elements provide, baby. We've been saying it all this time, and they finally are providing. And my goodness, Sand is tier 3 on turn 3. He is a force to be reckoned with. They can now freely move through deserts. He's going to get 5 deserts here, which allows him to get a free oasis. He's just a couple turns away, probably, from getting to a 50-50 resource win condition, because that is going to become an oasis there. Oh, actually, yes, he went tier 3. So the tile that his general just purchased became a desert courtesy of Pharaoh, so didn't even have to use his tier 2 ability for that. But he's going to do that on the field in the forest instead. So he's got 6 deserts at his disposal. Absolutely insane. Oh, this is tough. This is very tough. And so now any soldier he spawns on virtually all of his tiles that he owns can just snake through all of them. Oh, this is nuts. We might have a pretty short game here, folks. And it might be a very swift lesson learned. Double Desert Sand Corner is a little powerful. A little powerful. But of course, this weather event is going to make it look incredibly powerful. Interesting here. Again, a double fortify that desert. Doesn't look like he wants to go too aggressive just yet. Kind of out of resources. Just wants a position on the short side. Can't blame him for that. Can't afford that lake. But that's going to prevent Goofy from actually colonizing it, settling it, and fortifying it himself. Goofy in a tough spot here. Blood wants to get enough power in order to take on this general at this desert that's just right outside his doorstep. But is he going to be able to summon that strength in this turn? The first turn that his general can actually move. Really considering whether or not to put this soldier here. I think it's a no-brainer, right? No-brainer. His resources, there's no way it's 12 and 7. At 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deserts owned. That is a total of 18 food netted with his capital and oasis. Very, very solid there. And we're looking at a healthy amount of BM. 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So he's netting, I think, 18 and 13 on his economy. Very solid. He is tier 3 as well. What I think we'll probably see is we'll probably just see him turtle up. Might go for Mink. That might be the only offensive thing that he does. But Goofy's going to be able to hold him off pretty formidably when he gets that third mountain in play. That's going to be a hefty dice roll to overcome. At only netting 18 food a turn, that's only enough for an army each turn. It's not that powerful. An army is simply not going to knock down what Earth is going to be able to do. And we still have very powerful advantage guards to contend against Blood out here. Goofy looks like he's just going to take this dice roll here. Gotta go tier 2 here. He does go tier 2. That's going to put him at 17 and 5. I don't think he goes for the plate tectonics play here. Probably buying this volcano and going to go ahead and pop one of your tectonic plates. Probably the play. Ooh, instead, okay, does make that lake into a mountain. Absolutely. He's got so much BM coming in. So much BM coming in. I think we should probably see a construction crew here and a construction crew here is likely what we're going to see. Didn't take piercing the mantle here, so the economy's not going to get that standard tier 2 buff that Earth typically gets. That extra 6 BM per turn. But that's okay. Does buy this randomly generated volcano for us. Oh, he's going to go ahead and Citadel that. That is excellent. Oh, excellent. Gonna get an army here, actually. He's going to get to pressure Blood. If he goes to this mountain, Blood can still exsanguinate at this. So he definitely should, he shouldn't spawn that army. Should not spawn this army. Spawning this army would be a full sell. Just buy some soldiers out here. Very smart, Goofy. Very smart. Gonna take these 3 soldiers against Sand down here. Absolute raid boss Sand. Construction crew has been popped once. Summon Citadel has been utilized on that volcano tile. Oh, wait. This is just a bait by Justin to get sustained damages in play. If Goofy wins this battle, Justin is going to get to draw 3 advantage cards here. Justin just wants to lose this fight. He just needs Goofy to not roll a 1. What? I think he's wondering, what has he got planned? Buy that 4th soldier. Just don't roll a 1, Goofy. I mean, we got to get him out of here, right? We got to get Sandman out of here. Gotta. Shouldn't we just train an army? Why not train an army? Blood General can't get there. What's the harm in that? Just getting Haboobs the turn after? But you can still Haboobs just 4 soldiers. So, we'll see. Alright, that is going to be a guarantee, though. Because Sand only rolled a 3. That is a guarantee. But sustained damage is just coming out! Blue Shadow gets to draw 3 advantage cards. Goodness gracious. Let's see what he gets here. Let's see the value. Just absolute ridiculous cards. Not very good ones, though. This is definitely the best one. Intercepting Cargo. Going to sabotage his opponent. And we get a new weather. Northern Fog. Can't travel north. Very devastating for Pond Jr. because I think he was going to want to go for Mink this turn. Potentially. Or at least aggress upon Justin. Ooh, but Tyler draws Sudden Storm. Immediately gets a new weather here. And now, this tile becomes a volcano. 2 randomly spawned volcanoes on the board. Imagine if magma or fire was in play. What a crazy game this would be. So another randomly generated volcano. Wild. Thank goodness fire or magma's not in this game. I want to take a peek at the weather. I want to see what's to come. So the Glacier General is going to aggress into the volcano. Very good play here. I like that. Justin didn't actually own this, so he's not actually gaining anything from it. And is he just going to sit there on his turn? Pond Jr.'s economy is pretty shot at the moment. Shows he's only at 5 BM. Still has yet to use an ability. That's pretty rough. And Blood's General is online, ladies and gentlemen. It is turn 4. Red Shadow is now been completed. What are his options, though? Not very many options. Could go double movement into Glacier, but we all know that attacking into Glacier is just not usually a good play. They can stall you pretty handily. But sitting at 32 and 9, just an absurd amount of food. If he puts a barracks on this, he can actually sacrifice 2 armies on it. And that would allow him to put a castle as well on whatever tile he attacks in the end. That would be wild. Has no exsanguinate targets, but if he full-on commits to training an army from both the altar and the barracks, he can get to 10 soldier sacrifice, which is very crucial for his bat form passive. I like the idea of just going into sand here. Can't really attack him, but just threatening him is pretty solid. Sacrificing a bunch of troops. Or maybe we just position ourselves on the market. Put ourselves 1 tile closer to just threatening him. Just sacrifice a ton of soldiers. Let's see how many actually ends up sacrificing. Sacrifices an army. Goes to 5 soldier sacrifice. So the general is currently sitting at 15 plus dice roll. And he opts to sit on the temple still. I would have liked to see a little bit of movement. Not seeing enough movement, as ye old Tyler Blevins would say. I think shifting to the mark would be really good. It's still a neutral tile that no combat can take place on. Justin's going to go ahead and pop Intercepting Cargo, which is going to steal 5 resources from one of his opponents after payout this turn. Gets a great marketplace card. Sitting in such a comfortable economic position, we can use marketplace to get to that 50-50 advantage at some point. But actually, for going tier 3 at turn 3, the economy is not that great. Look at how many counters Goofy's got. The man is doing some calculations in his head. Surely just a tactical player. Gonna be interesting to see if maybe Dragon's Retribution could be used here aggressively pretty soon. Blood's General is an absolute menace. Earth doesn't have the potential to kill here, but they can come very close to getting rid of Blood. But Blood being able to bat form is going to be pretty crucial. Is this when we knock down all of the castles? Do we utilize our Summon Citadel defensive fortifications to knock down the castles? Goofy has a very interesting play in front of him. I think he's got some potentially game-winning plays in front of him this turn. Sand is just fanning out, prepping against what Glacier is going to be able to do. Still sitting at 23 and 20. A lot of resources to play with here. A lot of resources to play with. This middle of the board is very interesting. The first pyramid has graced the battlefield. Anyone that perishes within 2 tiles of this pyramid will be resurrected in Sand's name. Trains an army, moves through that desert. Just defend, I think. I think just defend. But if we attack those soldiers, they will be resurrected in our name. It's very powerful. The general can join us as well. But doesn't that just open up the door for Blood to retaliate against us? Gonna go ahead and prepare the retreat here. Earth's got +3 on their dice roll. This is not a guarantee for Sand by any stretch. I like what they did here with the... Yes, yes, yes. I think he just used... Whatever, we'll allow it. We'll allow it. This card is meant to be used on your own units to save your own soldiers. But that's okay. Card doesn't actually specify. It does say if you lose the battle, but hey, if you lose the battle. Rolls a 6 on that forest with a +3 on his dice roll. General also rolls a 6. That's an 11. That is going to take that soldier down as well. So Sand getting a couple of mummies. The mummies are in play. This is what is going to allow him to potentially fulfill this quest. Difficult spot here for Goofy, but if he gets a lot of soldiers out there, that's... Without Buried Alive, a lot of soldiers here, it's going to be pretty good. He can defend. He's got 3 mountains at his disposal, but he's got a lot of plays to consider elsewhere. Great card to draw in this position. Great card to draw. He's at 18 and 16. 18 and 16. What's up, Oof? Welcome aboard tonight. Very interesting game here. I think Goofy is going to feel compelled to go for a gut shot against Blood this turn. Let's see, if he gets rid of 3 defensive fortifications, he gets rid of all Blood's castles currently. Blood is only going to be at 18 BM next turn. And they really are not going to want to build all 3 castles back. They're definitely not going to want to do that. And because they didn't shift into the stables or anything like that, they can't actually double move into you to really cause any damage. So what's the play here? It is a tough play. But because we have this card, when we get to the capital, we are smooth jazz running. Smooth jazz. If we can maybe even get to tier 3 next turn, we keep enough resources in the bank. With eating rocks, is it possible? I think with eating rocks, it is possible. And we'll have our general there to remove any castle. And we'll have stage fright. We get rid of Blood's general. And we'll also have spare rooms. I think you got to play for tier 3 here. This is going to be a very unfortunate play right here. Because we know what's going to occur. We know Sand's general is going to move through. And is going to convert this into a desert for him. So that he can haboobs it. Getting rid of all of the soldiers and defensive fortifications. But Earth is going for, I believe, a 2-turn kill on Blood. Blood is going to struggle to defend this. Blood is going to struggle here. Gonna go ahead and pop, bringing the house down. Gonna put his 2 free construction crew. I would imagine we're just gonna get rid of the castles here and here. Don't waste any more. We need this citadel. Okay, he's gonna kill all 3. Not a big deal. Not a big deal here. But what kind of soldiers is he going to mass here? You have to play for tier 3 next turn. That is the way that you finish him. He's going to be able to exsanguinate your army. You do not care. You do not care. He's going for the altar. Not going to be able to sacrifice any soldiers, actually. But this army is going to get exsanguinated. That's the problem. But if he double fortifies, will he be able to get enough soldiers? That would be all of his soldiers. Oh, man. That's brutal on Blood. Brutal on Blood. I think we probably should have gone for the mountain. It seems counterintuitive to not take the altar when you can, but because Blood did not take the monument, he can't bat form and move to attack. Ooh, the general can also. He's taking both. This guy's playing. This guy is a. He's smarter than me. Goofy's smarter than me. Taking on both here. I don't think Bobrick has any cards at his disposal. Nope. He does not. Oh gosh, Bobrick's had some pretty rough cards here. I mean, shouldn't we have put the general here and the army here? Then we can't get exsanguinated, right? Definitely the play. What's this play here? I've got skin in the game! Pun Jr. plays skin in the game! Yikes! And that is rough for Earth. This invasion is going to be probably thwarted. And unfortunately for Pon Jr., he might think he's saving himself to have himself a chance in the game. But this is probably just stalling for a Blue Shadow victory. But now Blood's got a free army to deal with this tile after Blood's general exsanguinates that army. They're probably going to take that dice roll, right? Probably. Skin in the game is absolutely massive here. I think it would have been even more epic if they waited for the capital to be attacked, but you can't risk it. Unlucky for Earth, indeed. But, I mean, Earth's pretty fortunate with the advantage cards they had. But, man, this is... He's getting attacked by Sand. He's obviously doing battle with Blood. And now Glacier is attacking Goofy. It takes 3 to take him down. And the weather event is settling the score again. Bobrick and Dwarf Exterminator are going to pull their resources together and split them evenly. I think Blood is probably the beneficiary here. Especially because Justin got intercepting cargo activated this turn as well. So he got a bonus 5 resources. So it's got to be Blood that benefits here. Pretty fortunate for Bobrick. And, of course, he had a saving angel in Pon Jr. But Pon Jr.'s got to make a move. Looks like all of his BM is spent. He's at 23-0. 18-0 now. What's the play here? What's the play here? Is it take Mink? Even that is pretty underwhelming. But getting a nice blizzard barrier here would be very good. Trains an army on the lake. Moves into the desert. I like the idea of attacking Mink because then we can bull by the horns. The polar bears would die after you attack whatever boss you're attacking. But you'd be elsewhere on the board. And that elsewhere on the board would actually prove to be very, very powerful. Didn't actually really do anything with his turn. I think he's planning for a big play. I'm not sure if I see it just yet. What does Bobrick do here? I think Bobrick's got a pretty cut and dry play here. We have to spend our Seeing Red double movement to exsanguinate this army. We got to get it out of here. Definitely putting a castle on our capital in case this attack goes bad. So we do see the double movement come out. This is why the general should have moved to the stables. Of course, it was a good move not to because he didn't know that Earth had the advantage card. But still, exsanguinate utilized to get rid of that army threat. Can Earth still go tier 3 next turn? If they can go tier 3, they can still make some good stuff happen. But the general getting sent back is pretty huge because now the spare rooms can only spawn on this volcano tile. Oof, the gambling is not in your favor tonight. Not in your favor tonight. So we exsanguinate the army. We want to be able to push out both of these tiles, but it's just not going to happen. The Blood General is at 25 plus dice roll, so he's 26. Gonna replace the resource building on the mountain with the barracks to train an additional army. Let's make this a guarantee. Smart play. This is exactly what I would do here. And then with this extra BM, I'm going to go ahead and purchase this desert most likely. And put a castle on that. Rough news here is if we attack with 2 armies into this altar, we still leave this volcano open for spare rooms to really just bite us next turn. Is Earth even able to get there? Oh, definitely. Oh, no, they're not. They're 4 food off. This is after payout. That's rough. I think he probably got afflicted by intercepting cargo, which that 5 food is what made him not able to go to tier 3 this turn. I really hope Pond Jr.'s got a big play up his sleeve here to be relevant in this game. I think he can easily squeak out a 2-boss win condition here. Ooh, what's going on here? Moving into the stables, positioning for the stables. Moving into that star tile. Goofy is in a rough spot. All 3 players have pushed against him. Goofy is in a very rough spot. Man, I don't really know what we do out of this. We can't go tier 3. We're going to lose this tile the next turn. It is rough out here, boys. And it goes to Dwarf Exterminator, who really is the biggest threat at the table. 25 and 22, already tier 3. Are we playing to knock out Goofy here? General's going to move through the deserts. Turn this tile into a desert when he purchases it. And then we can Haboobs the mountain and be 1 tile away from killing Earth's capital. That's definitely the play. Who got new arrivals? Did Sand get new arrivals? This is criminal. Absolutely criminal. Five turns, 5 announce cards. But he did draw 6 advantage cards with his tier 1 ability and his other advantage card that he had. So he's not hurting the advantage card department. And sometimes they do roll your way. General's going to buy that forest, convert it into a desert. He's just spreading that sand everywhere. No one wants this poor economy. Gonna purchase this lake as well. Turn into another desert. This is the play. This allows us to Haboobs this. It eliminates every structure on this tile here. This is the play. That's a lot of sand out there, boys. Do we all remember when Deserts used to add 1 to their defensive dice roll? Can we all wholeheartedly agree that that was not healthy? Nod your head with me. Nod your head with me. It is a whopping turn 5. A whopping turn 5. We're at 22 and 17. We're definitely haboobsing this. This is the play. Goofy getting an unfortunate ruling. He's gonna get haboobs here. I think Goofy is just unfortunate victim to a 3v1. And Pon Jr. sponsored it. So that's his impact on this game. He sponsored Goofy's defeat, which is in turn likely going to sponsor Blue Shadow's victory here. I'd love to see if Sand wins via their quest. The mummies are in full effect. Didn't actually haboobs, didn't want it. Just gonna double army take this. And the mummies are his. Every soldier slain in battle within 2 tiles of a pyramid becomes Sand's units. I believe in the Goofy comeback. I do as well. If there's anyone that can do it, it is Goofy. But his options are running out. I think we're going to struggle to get a win condition here. I mean, missing out on that 5 food. If he could go tier 3 this turn, it would be massive. Brutal advantage card to get at this stage of the game. It's turn 5, and it feels just like it's turn 11 in the old game of Aether. The game just moves so much faster. I love it. I do. I love the tempo of the game now. Crazy. Aether happens turn 7. I'm going to go ahead and remind that. Earth is going to struggle to defend this. In my opinion, this is what skin in the game should have been saved for. Double sand equals banned. Come on, double sand equals banned. Say it with me. Put it on a pillow. What the heck? Wait, never mind, it's turn 6. Wait, this goes Aether next turn. No, it's not. Wait, is it? Turn 4, he didn't move. Turn 5, he had to do this. It's turn... We'll know when it goes to Snoop Lion. We'll see. I think someone might have hit this. Maybe I accidentally did? Because, Sand couldn't turn this into a desert, Haboops can't be activated. But Mirage is going to be just massive. He's essentially going to be attacking with 4 armies. But Earth with +2 on its dice roll? It's not an easy task. Earth might be able to defend this. Who hit that? I think someone hit turn counter. I don't know why it would misbehave. My coding is flawless. Absolutely flawless. Mirage, so Sand is going to be attacking with 4 armies. Probably 6 armies, actually. And the first player to touch this goes Aether. Which is probably going to be Tyler, Pon Jr.? Wait, no, this is turn 6 next turn. If Aether was happening this next turn, that would be absolutely wild. Next weather event, Improper Damnation. Nation takes her turn first, gets select 1 swap that now becomes a lake. Gonna do this friendly one probably next to his capital. Doesn't really make sense to do anything else. Only 2 swamps present on the board, actually. Other one is over here, the star tile. Don't want to make a terrible swamp into a better tile for the enemy. Look at my leftmost card, GG. Ah. Well, I don't even think you need it. Pretty sure it's just Mirage claps it. Training army. Are we also established to somehow get 3 star tiles? I don't think so. So I don't think you can win this turn. Gonna make that swamp into a lake across the board. All right. Help out the opponents over there. Maybe he's trying to make up for what he did to Goofy. Poor dear sweet Goofy. Poor Goofy. Great play by Goofy over here, forking that attack. Loved it. Unfortunately, Pon Jr. had the skin in the game. And it's looking like that's his only skin that he had in the game. Still yet to use an ability. Great advantage cards. It does nothing. What are we waiting on? Where are his resources going? Why is he at 7-0? He trained an army. What else did this man do? There's got to be more that we can do here. Pon Jr. definitely showing the rust. Hasn't played the game in a good bit. Let's see what Bobber can do here. Lots of sand on the board. The Tuscan Raiders. Ever present. What can we do? How do we help Earth? I don't think we can. Can it train soldiers on the desert for a whopping 3 food? Should only be able to train 3 soldiers. Yep, fixes the change here. I'm not sure. I mean, we're attacking this, yes. Can't leave the altar, though. Just sacrificing him down. Goes to 20 soldiers. Still at 19-5. Bot really doesn't want hydration, I guess. You know what? We'll give you a hydration on the house. Why not? Guy is thirsty. Guy's been talking for an hour. On the house. I think Bobrik's kind of screwed, too. His general is at 45 plus dice roll. So between 46 and 51, really strong. But I think it's just too little too late. This has a defense of 35, so the general is going to be able to take this. Trains yet another army. Goes to 25. I think now what players need to realize is Blue Shadow probably can't win this next turn. So what win condition can we acquire to move up the leaderboard? Pon Jr. should be trying to cash in on 2 bosses. Without question. Blood's general is 55 plus dice roll. Easily taking the volcano. Easily taking the volcano. Got all of his castles reestablished after Earth snatched him away. Force gifting in the hands of Dwarf Exterminator. Gonna make Earth give him a card. Earth gets to pick this card. Gives him the blood advantage card. It's gonna help him deal with just the raid boss that Blood is creating over there. Because I think this was Goofy that chooses it. Yep, Goofy chooses it. Sand is going to convert the landmark tile into the Dragon's Lair. Goofy says, nah. Who didn't ban Sand? Come on. He needs to put a pyramid here. He said nah. Needs to have 6/6 to afford it, and of course he can. Oh man. The general is gonna stay put here. If he puts a pyramid here, then these two armies will be his the following turn. And then he can get to his quest. So he will win next turn. That's hilarious. Dragon's Lair was utilized. He said nah. So he sacrifices one army at the Dragon's Lair to get two back courtesy of mummification. Ay, ay, ay. You always have to ban Sand. Oh, fiercely disagree. Fiercely. It's just if you have two Sands that are within reach turn one, has to be banned. Has to be. And the thing is Justin went second, too. Or pick second. It's not Sand. His advantage cards have been insane. His advantage cards have been insane. Because really, in all honesty, he went tier 3 on turn 3, which is wild. Unheard of. The weather did wonders for him. But his economy is not that massive, actually. Marketplace is in. What are we marketplacing? I assume we don't need to Mirage here, I guess. Yeah, we don't need to. Did he buy... He bought stables just to turn it into a desert. That's hilarious. I understand that Sand is broken, blah, 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 but like, all this is only because of his Vantage cards. I will never forget the 3-tile pyramid range on the 3-player board. Yikes! Man, this game has seen some dark times, hasn't it? Advantage cards were nuts. And can you believe he was actually complaining a second ago? I only got announce cards, but my kit did allow me to draw an additional 6 cards. It's turn 6, but I've drawn, I think, 13 cards. Goofy is slain by Blue Shadow, and this is a lot of sand to deal with. He should be able to just get armies back through the... Actually, with no desert here, he can't get to 6 armies here, right? But he's going to have some options. He's definitely going to have some options. Raise dead. Any units that were killed this turn reappear at their capital. Goofy would have loved to see that. Unfortunately, dead. Deceased. Unfortunate indeed. This also goes Aether. Bobrick's going to get Aether. Bobrick is going to get Aether. What is he going to do with that? That's going to be interesting. It was a 3v1, Goofy. Rough 3v1. Very unfortunate loss here. So, the sacrifice text does not count for Raise Dead. Killed this turn means killed and not by your actions. So, sacrificing of the Dragon's Lair, sacrificing of the altar. Lagging so bad. So, it's actually pretty clutch that you died. Goofy lagging out. At 32 and 26, if he's able to get 3 BM, which means his general just needs to end on a desert, he'll go to 50-50. So this is a sand victory at the end of this turn. So now we have to get a win condition out of Pawn Jr. And with his advantage cards, he can do it. So Bobrick's going to obtain Aether. Pawn Jr. should be attacking here with Mink and then getting his soldiers together on the desert, Bull by the Hornsing to Noctua. And he would get a win condition. So he would get a win condition before he left this game. But instead, he's choosing to attack Sand, but Sand just has to end his turn. Unless 6 L's in a row. Gambler's fallacy, man. It's still a 50-50. No matter how many times it has landed on tails, it doesn't mean it's going to be heads the next time. Speaking of which, just use a coin. Yeah? Oh, I really would have loved to see Pawn Jr. seizing the opportunity to get a win condition here. Just get something that moves you up the leaderboard. This is Aether now. I think this is the first competitive match where we've got Aether at the table. Bobber gets a lot of funky stuff, but the thing is it doesn't matter. Bobrick wants to try to get a win condition here, but it's going to be tough in his position. I was lagging very bad. I can't what you said when I said 3v1. It was a 3v1 for sure. It was a 3v1. Bobrick's such a powerhouse, but it's just if Justin's not sand, this game is played way differently. Oh wait, Bobrick able to access Bull by the Horns here. What can we eke out of this? 2v1 Tyler. Tyler played skin in the game. Yeah, skin in the game was massive. I need to secure another win so I can be in the top 4. Yes, you do, sir. Yes, you do, sir. Are you playing tomorrow? Oof. We got Scooby playing tomorrow. Current #1 seed, but Justin's about to surpass him here. Yeah, no, Goofy definitely got 3v1 for sure. Sand just, quite literally, just has to intern. Actually, no, he doesn't even have to do that. He can, oh no, he doesn't have Aether. If he had Aether, he would have been able to convert this into a desert. And then he could get all his soldiers to a pyramid. Oof is playing tomorrow. Nice. We're testing the game out with some new players tonight at in about an hour. And so we might even have some new fresh meat. I'm going to try to get them prepped. I think we have 4 or 5 players testing it out tonight. Look at all these advantage cards. Got great cards. Secured the blood advantage card from him. What can he do here? I don't... You can't stop him. Cannot stop him. It is over. It is over for the comrades. I was so close to being unstoppable. Oh, it was nuts. Yeah, dude, your setup was great. Obviously, air is just broken. I think it only hold 4 cards. Actually, that is a passive of Aether. You can hold 6 advantage cards. Because one of their abilities is to look at each hand and take 1 from each of them. So you're going to go over that limit. But really, not many abilities have been used. He could play Tectonics here. It'd be really cool if Bobber could pull off just a crazy, crazy effect here. But there's just so much sand presence. I would love just, if you could kill Tyler somehow. Let's see, he could use Aether to play Tectonic somewhere with his general, but his general's in a pretty unfortunate spot. I'm not seeing a win condition option here. Probably going to go for a boss. Oh, wait. Could he go? His general could attack this, and he's going to bull by the horns to Mink. Bobrick might be able to get a 2-boss win condition here. This is really good heads up from Bobrick. Oh, he's going with a dice roll. No, that's a guarantee. That's a guarantee on Kraken. Which doesn't act a cool effect, and he's going to bull by the horns, take these over to Mink. Not a guarantee, though. Not a guarantee. 1 soldier away from making it a guarantee. Heads up play by Bobrick here. Getting a little win condition on his way out. Aether itself is not a win condition, but it's a start tile. So Aether can be your 3rd. Did he roll a 1? I think Bobby rolled a 1! He does not get the win condition! If he rolls a 2, he kills Mink. He rolls a 1! So it is only going to be Blue Shadow that walks out of here with win conditions. Bobrick gets denied the win condition. Yikes. Oh, does he have 3-star tiles? Oh, he does. He was going for the win. Bobrick does get a win condition. If he rolls higher than a 1, Bobrick wins this game, just steals this game. That is incredible. Did he have... He was 1 food shy of making a guarantee. That is crazy! If Bobrick rolls higher than a 1, he steals this win and would be the first competitive season blood winner. Oh, that is devastating. That is so sad. I didn't realize he had 3-star tiles. Bobrick was about to just sneak this. Oh, gosh. Justin is the only player to get a win condition out of this game. Goofy, the unfortunate victim, to a 3v1. Bobrick, though. Have we not seen Bobrick just ascend in his vision of the game? He's doing it on air, broken. He's doing it on blood, broken. What else can he do it on? Almost snaked it. I would have loved to see it. That would have been crazy. What a highlight play. Bobrick would still, he would be the only winner of the second half of the competitive season. 2 games in. That's nuts. Holy moly. Empires at Aether, baby. The next great turn-based strategy board game that allows you to wield the power of an element of your choosing. Vying for control of a new power, a new land, a new element. Aether. Oh, man. I didn't put anyone on Aether. Hey, it's alright. The elements wanted you to win this day. The elements wanted you to win this day, and that's what you did. Kudos to Blue Shadowed. A great game. Hey, yo. 2 deserts in the corner. What are we doing now? Say it with me now. Say it with the class. We're banning sand. We're banning sand. 2 deserts in the same corner. We're banning sand. Gosh, that would have been crazy. Is there any ability that Bobrick could have used? Mirage wasn't utilized. He could have... Was Eating Rocks ever actually utilized? I don't think it was. If Eating Rocks was utilized, he would have been able to train a soldier here and teleport. That one soldier would have done it. Because he's 1 soldier shy of 2 armies. It was. So Bobrick could have used the Aether to play Eating Rocks to get 1 additional soldier and win the game. I will never ban sand. I love it too much. And that's why you will lose to it. Why didn't you play it? Why didn't you play in that corner? Bobrick threw, though. So close, Bobrick. But you do. He gets a win condition out of this. He has his 3-star tile, so he does move up the leaderboard. Sand will be the last element I get a win on. It's just too broken, apparently. Too broken. 10-10 Arcane. That will be a challenge to overcome in the game's release. 10-10 Arcane. I think people are going to like what we're doing to Arcane here pretty soon. Arcane's going to have a secondary form. That's all I'll say at this point. That's all I'll say. Yo, the music's kind of high, boys! Dude, this was a fire game. This was a good game. Good plays from everyone. How many tiles do you have to own to win? It's still 18. Still 18. What is Sand at? Hold on. I'll be able to tell you how much you were at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're only at 12. Far away from 18. Gosh! That is crazy! So if Bobrick, I think you got it. Like Aether is so broken. There's always something to be done with Aether. And the fact that Aether is going to be present in most games with this turn 7 entrance, there's always something to be done with Aether. So, it's so much to take in, right? But the fact that Eating Rocks was used, it would allow Bobrick to actually just snake this game away, is wild. So Bobrick did have the win. He was 1 soldier shy. But also, if he rolls anything higher than a 1, and believe me, I've been there. I've been in a game where I had to roll higher than a 1. Not once, not twice. But I had 3 chances to roll higher than a 1. And I rolled a 1 all 3 times to win the game. Yeah. So I've been in... The elements... When the elements don't want you to win, the elements don't want you to win. So I shouldn't say that this was Bobrick's fault. Because the elements are in control. The elements wanted Blue Shadow to win this game. And that's what he did. And he did it with a sandy, sandy corner. We'll see you here tomorrow, boys. Empires of Aether.